What is going on, guys? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you guys from the Thunderbird. Just chilling here. Gonna have myself a live little smoke hangout and do a little recap of last night's game, which we lose 27-11 to the Chicago Bears in the second preseason game of the 2022 Seahawks preseason. Was not a very good outing last night, but still fun to be back in the stadium. Appreciate everyone that still came out to the stream to the player interaction streams, first one of the year from inside the stadium. I will be at training camp this Sunday, but obviously not filming because of the no recording allowed now in the training camp. But yep, certain new rules. But yeah, I might need. That lighter is almost about out of juice. So is this one. I might need to go borrow a lighter. Ooh. Hey, Scott, can I borrow your lighter? Oh, never mind. I'll go see if they have one up there. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties with the lighters, so. That's a big one. That's a big one. Okay, now let's try this again, shall we? See, I might have to unlock this thing. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a big flame. Tip of the flame, warm the cherry up. This thing is freaking huge. Then with this cigar. All right. Oh yeah, that's my buddy Scott. Scott, how we doing? Good. Yep, you're smoking an LFD just like me, and gonna kind of recap the Seahawks game last night. So we all knew all hell broke loose basically. Defensive wise, still a bunch of, just a bunch of the sloppy zone coverage and a bunch of the same missed tackles.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, seems like we always have issues with missed tackles and everything too. Just saying. But we did get some fortunate news on Seahawks, right on Damian Lewis. Damian Lewis looks like he avoided a serious injury in last night's preseason game. That air cast was definitely not a good look. Yeah. So it looks like the X-rays came out negative, and what we learned about the knee injury was, let's see right here, what we got here. So Seattle Times reported Seahawks got very, very fortunate news after the game as Damian Lewis's X-rays were negative and his injury turned out to be a lateral ankle sprain. So we are very fortunate about that.
What's up, brother?
Oh my goodness!
How we doing, bro?
What is going on, Pete? My friend Pete is here. I'm doing
your live streaming?
Yeah. Say what's up, Pete.
Hey, how we doing, Hawks fans?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We're capping last night, man.
Not much to cap.
Yeah, I mean, thank goodness that Damian Lewis is going to be all right, though, right? Turned out to be a lateral ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to give some thoughts?
No. I just saw how they reacted when they must have heard some noise because they were all like, boom, let's get out of here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm meeting some friends here.
Nice. I didn't know you do cigars here.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see you again, Pete.
Yeah, you too. Funny.
Yeah, one of my friends from the Roadhouse. But yeah, I was really concerned about that injury for Damian Lewis because it was like I got really concerned because obviously you do not want to see any of your big dogs on the offensive line go out like that. But there really wasn't a whole lot of positives. Most of the positive stuff happened later in the game, like when Thompson scored that touchdown at the end, then Cade Johnson caught the 2-point conversion, which was the only good thing Cade Johnson did. But he really shit the bed on when he muffed that punt in Chicago, was able to take it in for a touchdown. And then I'll tell you what, though, Scott, Charles Cross had a really bad night.
Can I start it now?
I mean, how many penalties did Charles Cross have last night?
Who knows? I'm sure there's a stat somewhere.
Yeah, Cross had a terrible night last night in that game. He just did not do that hot in the game last night. He was just freaking having penalty after penalty after penalty, and then the freaking, I think Coleman had that late hit later in the, I forgot what quarter, but screw it. There really wasn't anything positive to talk about. Just really bad performance all around, and just not a whole lot of positives. But there's just basically this. We basically just have a showing of how bad this season is going to be. But it just sucks not getting to see Drew Lock out there. Thought for sure just obviously we know he got COVID, but I think now pretty much if there's one thing to talk about with this, even with Drew Lock not playing, it basically showed, my buddy Nate at work said this. It basically said that it pretty much showed clearly that Drew Lock is going to be the starting quarterback. Like, he wanted basically sitting on his couch with COVID. Would you agree with that, Pete?
I wouldn't.
No?
You probably don't want me to comment too much on the Seahawks.
Yeah, because we all know how bad it's probably going to be. But,
they got younger everywhere except for coach.
Yeah. But still, I can't badmouth people like I told you about what he did with my jersey, though.
I know.
But still, I'll tell you what, the young guys, let them learn.
There's my guy right there.
I say we let the young guys learn, and we'll just see how it goes from there. What kind of cigar are you smoking there?
I got all kinds of them here.
Why don't you show the people, because this is a smoke stream, too. Like I said, I got my La Flor Dominicana Ligero Digger.
Oh, I can't just tout them out. I got a whole bag of them. I don't know what they all are.
This is the same brand cigar I gave to Jamal Adams last year in preseason, and I'm going to give him a Superfly.
It's a big old sucker.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to give Jamal a Leaf by Oscar Superfly on Sunday. That's what I told him in the live stream when I was at the game interacting with the players. He actually came by. Got my buddy Adam DK Metcalf's autograph on his Funko Pop.
Sweet. Sweet. There's my boys right there. They're at the bar.
The boys at the
It's
bar.
the first time the bar's been open since I've been here, since COVID.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it feels good, too. But, yeah. Other than that, it's pretty much a microcosm of what we could expect this season. But like I was saying to a bunch of the other fans, because we got to teach the younger generation this. There's going to be tough times, and
That's right.
And there's no way we're going to be able to contend with Super Bowl contending teams. So it's expected when you hit the reset button. But got to be, the younger generation needs to know you got to be willing to tough out the hard seasons, got to be able to tough out the losing seasons through the rebuilding. And no matter how hard it gets, when you're in that stadium, and we know how frustrating it gets, but make sure we tell the younger generation that are in there that basically came in during this last era where we had Russell and everything too before we traded them and moved on. But and we obviously know I know the other fans that basically toughed out the tougher years way before that, even the beginning. But through those tough times, look at that Super Bowl banner. And that's going to be a reminder of this, that it's worth it in the long run. Loyalty can be rewarded. Take it from my friend Pete here. It's been through a lot more rougher seasons.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of my friends.
Take us back in the dome.
Yeah.
Can we cheers to cigars?
Cheers to cigars.
Heck yeah.
Yep. Cheers to cigars.
Heck yeah. Good to see you, Sam.
Good to see you, Pete. It's my friend that I usually see at the Roadhouse.
Hey, we're done. Somebody's over here, Sam Dog. He's on the live stream.
What's up, guys?
Seahawks live stream on the internet right now.
And a smoke stream, because I wanted to do a cigar smoke.
Live stream. Nice. Yeah. I don't know. He just asked me the same thing. I just throw them in the bag, and throw them in the thing, and go smoke with them. Yeah.
So yeah, what were your guys' thoughts last night? I mean, granted, it could not have been anything positive, but I would say later in the game, though, granted it was against a bunch of other third stringers. I saw Kobe Bryant was flying all over the field making some plays. Did you see some of the plays Kobe Bryant made, Scott? Yeah, Kobe was flying around. I think he's got a bright future with this team, man. Yeah. Parents named him after.
No, when I came in, I was like, oh, this is legit. He doesn't drive from Everett now with this house.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I know sometimes it happens, but I just swallowed down the wrong hole with my water. But so yeah, Kobe made a couple of good plays. Miles Adams had a sack last night. Miles Adams got a good chance to make the team this year, I think. Brendan Nelson was talking about it last night on his post-game stream. So I even told Miles during pregame to get a sack, and he ended up getting one. The goal line stand was pretty good. Granted, it was against a bunch of the third stringers later on, but it's expected. Yeah, and Vegas Insider has us going 5-12, but it's normal with the rebuilding. Yeah, I'm trying to get everything out as good as I can. Like I said, I don't think I'll go live the entire time that I'm smoking this because I just want to enjoy this and just chill with some of the peeps I know here. So there's that. But I haven't done a live smoke session a long ass time. Who's in the chat? Make yourself known. Show yourselves.
No, I got into my shed roof because I was going to redo the roof and found an issue.
Yeah, thank God Damian Lewis is going to be all right, though. I was really concerned about that as he was getting carted off with the air cast around his ankle and leg. So at least the X-ray came back negative.
But I'm tackling it. I demoed it all out. I'm building it back right now. This was a lot more than I expected. In the door? No. I'm redoing my back deck. And below my deck, I have a shed. And I just found an ant problem. And it's more rot than I was expecting. So I had to rip it all out. It's just life for the home, right?
But yeah, we know where the problems are at, and we know a bunch of the starters still weren't playing. Like Quandre wasn't playing, Jamal wasn't playing. We saw a little bit of DK Metcalf last night too, but still, Geno didn't do squat. And it's pretty obvious that, like I said, even with Locke not playing, it's shown that it's pretty obvious that Locke is most likely going to win the starting job. Grant, I want to see a little bit more of him in the last preseason game when we take on Dallas next week.
I know I had that vision with where I was at. Yeah, once the gal came in to do who I was.
Too bad they didn't have my Maduro digger that I always would be smoking of these Leaf by Oscars, because that's been a personal favorite of mine for a while.
Yeah, he's nice. They do. They make great products. Better than good. That shit's great. Yeah, no, if you're paying that, it better be fucking great. Right?
Should have seen the Cuban cigar I was smoking on top of the Empire State Building when I was out in New York, guys. Wish I would have gone live on YouTube during my hangout at frickin' Soho Cigar Bar, because that was a really cool bar, especially the people I was hanging out with. And the lady sommelier, Nicole, oh man, she was awesome too, man. Soho House cigars are pretty good too. I could have had a chance to smoke the cigar of the year, which was the Padron, like really big torpedo one. Have you smoked the cigar of the year before, Scott?
No,
yeah, it was a Padron. It's a big torpedo. I actually got to hold it when I was in New York. A little heavy. Yeah, probably tobacco. But yeah, I do want to go to Cuba one of these days though. Try some of the cigars out there, especially this farm in Vinales that has got this guy Benito Camejo. He has his own personal leaves for his collection, but he sells a bunch of the other leaves to Cuban cigar makers such as Cohiba, Romeo y Julieta, and Monte Cristo, and other big name Cuban cigar makers. Pretty freaking awesome. I would kill to freaking just go to that farm and have some of his personal brand cigar leaves that he has.
Yeah, no, but it was a struggle. It was frustrating, and I wasn't going to do anything until I got that squared away.
Other than that, though, they're just football-wise, We know what to expect this season, and don't be surprised. I mean, we got to enjoy the wins that we get pretty much this year. Just enjoy the wins we get, and just no sense in getting pissed off at bad losses where we're just getting, because there's going to be games that we're going to be getting blown out. Like, I expect us to get blown out on Christmas Eve. I think we get blown out possibly in the Week 1 game against Denver. So it's going to be a long, tough year. I think we can beat Atlanta. I think we can beat the Jets and the Giants and Detroit. So there's that. Too bad I didn't got my buddy Christian Hill here. One time we did a smoke stream on the other side of the bar over there.
Oh, it's an incinerator. Yeah, that's how my fire pit is. Like no metal in mine. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this cigar here, the La Flor Dominicana Double Ligero Digger. This one right here was the exact kind I gave Jamal Adams last year at the Seahawks preseason game against the Chargers.
I had a sheet metal performance fabricated for me. Yeah, and then I dug a pit for it with a drain.
Yeah, the missed tackles still in the preseason. The missed tackles are still frustrating. The zone coverage just leaving tight ends wide open for big gains, and just that running back last night for Chicago was killing us. One of their running backs were killing us a lot last night. And granted, that was with we saw a little bit of Justin Fields, and then we saw Nathan Peterman. You know it's embarrassing when Nathan Peterman is carving up our players. Granted, it's not the starters and whatnot, but it's still a sign of things to come. But the Roquan Smith rumors, the Bears probably will find a way to re-sign Roquan Smith for their defense, as much as I've heard rumors, and we'll talk about saying the Seahawks should trade for Roquan Smith, but I don't know, guys. There's been a lot of crazy things during the offseason and just some of the other moves around the league. All right, catch you later, Scott.
See you later, buddy. Have a good one.
Yep. Go Hawks. But I'll tell you what, for the fans that have been around a while, we made it through worse. We'll make it through this, and you'll still get player interactions out of me by the tunnel. And don't forget, we're going to have 3 red zone reactions this year. Me and Dallas will be there for 3 red zone reactions. Week 1, which is pretty awesome. That's a rare red zone reaction week. I never thought we'd ever get red zone week 1. And our bye week after we play Tampa Bay in Germany, and then a few days after the Thursday night game against San Francisco and Seattle will be the last red zone reaction. So we only get 3 this year, but who knows? When we play like a team like Detroit and that, if we end up winning, maybe I'll have Dallas over. We might stream one of the games and then possibly go live for red zone after that, after one of our 10 a.m. games.
No, it's not getting nothing. I did do everything. That was the last thing I done. It was a $2.49 mark.
What up, Tyler? Who else is in here other than Tyler Parcher? I gotta know who else is in here.
I did. That guy I was talking about. Yes. I made a shit ton of money on it. He did. And he paid me what I wanted. And he had cash, $100 bills, and was kind of
I don't think I'll bring anyone on the stream though.
Stacking them up in the back of Sequoia.
Just probably people that are hanging around the bar here at Thunderbird. I got Jamal his cigar that I'm going to try to give him on Sunday, but don't know if I'll be able to film it. I could possibly try to sneak something when he comes over, but I do want to get a selfie with him because he took some selfies with some other fans at the game, and I was busy doing my filming, but at least Jamal remembered that I was the one that gave him the cigar last year.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can make some big plays. Hopefully Diggs can make some big plays for us. And when Drew Lock starts for us, hopefully he can get something going with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Hopefully Metcalf can have 10 touchdowns or more this year. But it's going to be tough with the quarterbacks we're playing with. We're practically playing with 2 backup quarterbacks, like I've said before, like 2011 with T-Jack and Whitehurst. But I've been wondering quite a bit, though, for the upcoming 2023 quarterback class. I've been wondering quite a bit. Is George Stetson, that quarterback out of Georgia, possibly going to be in that draft? Because I know we got Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. Bryce Young out of Alabama and Stroud out of Ohio State. But I'm going to be real. I'm not really sold on Ohio State quarterbacks because they never really panned out in the NFL.
I know. It's ready for it. We took it out with his buddy, and he just kind of moving around, and I hammer my shins. I make it run good. I maintenance it to the fullest. I was like, dude, hammer that. Drop that thing down and let's go. So when I test drove, I went to 52 miles an hour in this boat. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. So he dropped it down, and we went around at like 42. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, see? Just kind of butting around.
Cool picture right there with those cigars and that old style cutter right there. I wonder what kind of cigars those are. They got a picture of my father's right over here. Got my father's right there. Looks like we got some old style Cuban cigars right here. One of them's a Cohiba.
You give me what I want, I'm going to take it back home because I know it's a great boat. And he pulled out these 2 envelopes of cash. I was like, all right, let me count it out. And I did. It was 100 short.
I gotta rejuice these lighters up. I called Dallas Stewart out, man. Get his thoughts on last night.
I Venmoed it to him the next day. Like, who does that? Right? I know. Yeah. They were stuck. They were stuck. They were fresh and they were stuck. I'm like, dude, I just did it twice. I don't want to count all this money again. Come on over here and get involved.
Hello.
What's going on, Dallas?
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. Just doing a stream right now. Wanted to get your thoughts on last night.
And I texted him the next day.
Yeah, it was pretty bad from the offense.
Yeah. Even with Locke not playing, would you say that all signs are clear with the way Gino and Easton performed, that Locke is the clear-cut starter, even though Locke didn't play a single down last night?
Yeah, I would say Locke has the advantage right now.
Yeah, I pretty much can agree with you on that big time, but not really a whole lot of positives to talk about except for the fact that, Miles Adams had a sack last night. I mean, what stood out to you possibly if there were any positives of last night?
DJ Dallas looked okay.
Dallas and Homer?
Yeah, Travis Homer had some nice runs, yeah, but there wasn't a lot of positives last night.
Yeah, it sucks seeing Myers miss that field goal. I'm kind of questioning Jason Myers in the long run for this team. I mean, he's had his last couple of years, I mean, except for 2020, man, it's just like he had a really good year for us in 2020, but what happened last year and now this year possibly, man?
Yeah, he needs to bounce back this year.
Yeah, otherwise we could be looking into a new kicker possibly.
Yeah, I think last night was a preview of things to come for us this year.
Yeah, even though not all of our starters were playing.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw a little bit of DK Metcalf last night and Tyler. Did you see Tyler Lockett out there a bit last night? Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, man. Charles Cross had a bad night with all the penalties he had. He had way too many false starts and holding calls too, man, for real.
Yeah, we had way too many penalties last night.
Yeah.
I can't believe Trevor Siemian plays for the Bears.
Yeah. And Simeon was playing, and then there was
Pettis plays for the Bears.
Yeah, Nathan Peterman's on the Bears too.
And Tyler Gordon, the former Husky.
Yeah, Dante Pettis is on the Bears too.
That stuff's good.
I can't believe the team's taking a flyer on Simeon.
Yeah.
He was on the Saints last year.
Yeah, he was on the Saints last year, and now he ends up in Chicago. And then I didn't even know James O'Shaughnessy was on the Bears.
What team did he used to play for Jacksonville?
James O'Shaughnessy?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I saw O'Shaughnessy. I was like, man, he's on the Bears.
He's threw for 141 yards.
Yeah, he looked better than Gino, but
keep him as a third stringer.
Yeah, he had some good throws, but let's be real, he was overthrowing a lot of players, and it's obvious that Locke is going to be the starter. Granted, I know Locke overthrew some wide open guys in the first game in Pittsburgh, but yeah, we could pretty much say it's a sign of things to come.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if Denver destroys us in week 1.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what. Last night during the stream, did you see? I saw Dan Orlovsky and Louis Riddick.
I saw you with Louis Riddick.
Yeah, dude, I was so tempted to bring up the safety from 2008 where Dan Orlovsky got chased out to the back of the end zone by Jared Allen.
Oh, he came to your corner?
Yeah, Dan Orlovsky came to my corner. I was so tempted to bring up the safety from 08.
He ran in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I was.
During the winless season.
I wish I was so tempted to bring that up to him.
Quarterback that year?
What?
Was he their quarterback that year?
Yeah, 3 quarterbacks. It started out John Kitna, and then they had Dante Culpepper and then Orlovsky, I think. That was the exact order.
Dante Culpepper was on that team.
Everyone
That was
forgets.
when he was washed up. I forgot that he even played for Detroit.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forgot that too, man.
It's like when McNabb played for Washington.
Yeah.
He was past his prime.
Yeah, LOL, Immortal Eotech, yeah. Yeah, it's like he changed his hair, and then it's like it's easier when the players have their numbers on at training camp to remember their names, Immortal Eotech. But yeah, I gotta try to remember that Coleman changed his hair.
Any of was the King 5 crew there?
I didn't see King 5. It was Monday Night Football. They did the Monday Night Football, but of course, thank God it wasn't Buck and Aikman. It was Louis Riddick and Dan Orlovsky. They gave Dan Orlovsky a cupcake. I don't know if it was his birthday last night.
I think it might have been. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Buck and Aikman on Monday Night Football this year.
Hell no. It's much better
At
with
least we don't have to listen to them on Sundays.
Scotty. What it do, man?
What's up, man? What's up, Sam Dog?
Not much, man.
What's so dark in here?
I don't know, man. You tell me, man. I got my buddy Scotty in here at the Thunderbird right now.
Oh, you're at the cigar lounge right now?
Yeah, I am.
Are you live streaming right now?
Yeah, I'm streaming right now. You're talking on the stream right now.
Oh.
Yeah, I wish I didn't forget freaking Coleman. It's like it's like trying to learn the new faces and everything too. But I knew Coleman from his last time around, but he changed up his hair, and I totally forgot about that, man.
Wait, Justin Coleman?
Yeah, Justin Coleman. I mixed him up with some other players last night. I never really mixed up. I mean, I'm trying to learn a bunch of new faces this year, but it kind of feels like the old days and everybody used to mix up Richard Sherman with Sidney Rice because of his dreadlocks, remember?
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of positives.
Yeah.
I hope Jason Myers can get it figured out.
He's got to get it figured out, or else.
He cost us like 3 games last year.
Yeah. If he doesn't get it figured out, he might be on his way out, and we'll probably be looking for a new kicker in the later rounds of the draft, or possibly undrafted.
Yeah, so he should probably he'll probably be on the practice squad.
Yeah, or probably released and we go a different direction, maybe.
Yeah.
But this year's going to be about looking at the younger guys and seeing who's going to be a bright spot for this team. It sucks seeing Derek Young, the guy we got out of Lenore Ryan, drop some passes. But when he gets open, I mean, once he gets it going, he's able to get into a rhythm.
We won't be picking them that many times this year.
Unfortunately, man, that's what we hate to see. But granted, we even know when we don't pick them from time to time, we still want to hope for wins. But it's just we're always going to tell the truth. Embrace the
and
rebuild.
I'm not going to be that upset when they lose this year.
Yeah, pretty much.
There is no real expectations this year.
But you know what? We can still tell everybody that goes to the games and tell them. We can always tell them this. We can always say this. Granted, we know if you're feeling frustrated and with how bad the team is going to be and going through these tough times, just remember to look up at that Super Bowl banner and think in the long run that it's worth it, right? Especially with the years that the older fans have suffered through before we got that. I mean, even years that we suffered through before that. I mean, I was born the year we went 2-14. You were born the year after that, and pretty much.
Yeah, we remember 08, 09.
Yeah, 4-12 and 5-11. And
they'll probably be somewhere probably between 6 and 7.
Yeah.
I can't see them winning more than 6, to be honest.
Yeah, probably might be either 6 or less.
I think 6 is the highest. Honestly, even though Arizona is kind of in turmoil, I bet they sweep us this year.
Probably. That might end their long drought. They haven't swept us since 2008.
Yeah, 9.
2009, yeah. which was the year that they lost to the Saints in the divisional round in New Orleans, right?
Yeah, and the Rams, those will be 2 ugly losses.
Yeah.
The only division win might be against San Francisco.
Yeah.
At home.
Well, hopefully. I mean,
Maybe on the road.
yeah, but remember, we gotta see Trey Lance against other starters too. But San Francisco got a lot of upside on their team too, so I expect them to compete again too. But we gotta see how much more Trey Lance is running.
Quarterback. I expect them to. I think they're making a bad mistake.
What?
Not letting Garoppolo still be the starter.
Yeah, but man, what do you think of the whole Deshaun Watson 11-game suspension?
He really screwed himself. I think the Browns will probably be battling with Pittsburgh for last place in the North.
It kind of makes us wish that we had Jacoby Brissett as our quarterback for the time being,
Wait, as our starter?
Well, I don't know with Drew Lock though, but I'm talking about as another backup over Geno Smith.
Yeah, or Brett Hundley as a backup again, because the Ravens released him. I think we should sign him as a backup.
I thought it was Tyler Huntley. I thought it was Tyler Huntley they had.
Was it Brett Hundley or Tyler Huntley?
Because Brett, I thought, was with Indianapolis.
Oh, Brett Hundley. Oh, I was talking about. Maybe it was Tyler Huntley that got released, or Brett Hundley. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah. You think Watson should be in the league at all after what he did? Well, it's a bunch of crazy stuff. It's up for the league to decide on that one, but
he really screwed himself.
Kind of like what Ray Rice did to himself too.
His first game back is going to be against the Texans.
Yeah, ain't that a bitch? That's crazy. A lot of my friends were bringing that up, that his first game back was going to be against the Texans.
I wonder if the Browns are trading Baker Mayfield now.
Probably. Especially if they have to play with Jacoby Brissett for 11 games.
Yeah, I'm taking Carolina in week 1 against Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm picking Carolina too. Baker Mayfield's going to target.
I think even Carolina could beat the Browns with Sam Darnold.
Yeah. What's going to happen with Sam Darnold now? Is he going to be the backup to Baker?
Probably.
Yeah. And then, I'll tell you what, though. I was even talking to one of my coworkers at work today about, for the last 2 times. But I got a bold prediction to make for the season. I think, and not the Seahawks season, but the season in general, I think there will not be a 3rd straight year of a team hosting a Super Bowl in their home stadium. It's not going to happen this year, especially with the Super Bowl being in Arizona. And we all know what haunts the Cardinals.
Yeah.
The Pottsville curse. So there's no way in hell that it will go 3 years in a row of a home team playing in the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
I think the Cardinals might go like 9-8, 10-7. But they won't go very far in the playoffs. It'll be like last year.
Hell no, they won't even go far. I mean, especially with the Rams being back with their firepower, and obviously they recently added Bobby Wagner, and they got Allen Robinson as well. Obviously, can't forget that they got Allen Robinson.
I think maybe a sleeper team in the NFC could be New Orleans.
New Orleans? Why do you say that? They got Jameis Winston still.
I know, but I mean, I think they drafted pretty well, and I like some of the moves they made. And they were contending last year until Winston went down.
Yeah, what do you think of that dude from Liberty with Malik Willis? How you think he's been looking so far with Tennessee?
Yeah, you think he might beat out Tannehill for the starting job?
I don't know about that. I think Tannehill will still be their starter, but eventually if Tannehill shits the bed later in the season, they could possibly bench him for Willis.
I think Tennessee's going to take a step back.
Yeah, especially after that A.J. Brown trade.
With the AFC South.
I think that was a massive L they took trading A.J. Brown to Philly.
We'll see if maybe the Colts don't make a pretty deep playoff run.
But yeah,
I still think Matt Ryan still has a few good years left.
Yeah. And then also we can't forget, I think another team to keep an eye out on is the Chargers and their defense.
Yeah, that whole AFC West is going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, look at all Russell Wilson has to face now with the Chargers and the Raiders on their defenses. And then, of course, you can't forget that now Russell Wilson has to face Carlos Dunlap again in Kansas City. Carlos Dunlap Jaron Reed, Frank Clark, Chris Jones. Oh boy.
Where did Jones go?
What?
Chandler Jones. What team did he go to? Didn't he go to the Raiders?
Yeah, Las Vegas. He went to the Raiders. He went across the desert to the other desert.
Is J.J. Watt still on the Cardinals?
Yeah, but we all know he's old and injury prone. Classy dude, though. Got a lot of respect for J.J. Watt. It's just unfortunate with all the injuries he's had in his career.
I'd say this, even though he got that big contract extension, this is a hot seat year for Cliff Kingsbury. I think they gotta go on a deep run or he's gone.
Yeah, but will they go on a deep run even with that Pottsville curse haunting them?
Probably not.
Yeah. Also, you got to look out for the Chargers secondary, too. I mean, look at what they got. J.C. Jackson, Derwin James, and Asante Samuel Jr.
I think Kyler Murray's overrated.
Yeah, we've been saying he's an overrated midget, right?
I mean, look at what he's done at the end of the year the last 2 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
They've had a second collapse the last 2 years.
Yep, and we pretty much broke them in Week 18 in Russell Wilson's last game as our quarterback.
I hope we can at least beat them once, but they'll probably sweep us.
Yeah.
They have more talent. They have more talent than us.
Yeah, but their defense.
The biggest question mark, obviously, on the team is the quarterback position.
Yeah, for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also you can't forget the O-line and the pass rush too, and then the secondary. Granted, we got some young guys, but the young guys are gonna freaking. They're gonna make mistakes, but hopefully they learn over time. Yeah, Murray said the clause in his contract was disrespectful, yet he was the one to sign the contract.
God, I wish Aaron Fuller had brought down that touchdown from Jacob Eason.
Oh yeah, man, I wish he did too. And then Darwin Thompson scored the Seahawks' only touchdown. The running.
It's funny that we ended up getting Arcega Whiteside when the Eagles passed up on DK Metcalf.
Yeah, that's kind of hilarious too.
He'll probably. Brendan Nelson thinks he won't even make the team.
I agree with Brendan on that.
He said Ugo Amadi had a really good year 2 years ago, but he wasn't that good last year.
Yeah, we were gonna release Ugo regardless, but I didn't think it was gonna be a trade to swap players for him for JJ Arcega-Whiteside, which I did not really get that trade at all.
Yeah, Jamal Adams better step up this year.
That's what I told him by the tunnel. That's what I told him. And yeah, Dax, I did buy Jamal a cigar. I got him a super fly.
You told him a breakout year?
Told him
like a good year, like in 2020?
I told him kick some ass this year.
Yeah, because right now we both agree he hasn't lived up to that contract.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway.
How much longer are you gonna stay there?
Well, I wasn't gonna do my whole cigar on the stream. I was just gonna do a little bit. It's just a good thing I was able to get on and talk to you a bit. But just wanted to recap a little bit of last night and do a little bit of my cigars smoking since I haven't done a cigar smoke stream in a while.
Are you going to any more training camp practices?
Sunday.
Is that the last training camp practice?
I think it's one of the last few. There might be a couple
but
more.
They don't allow you to film.
Yeah, unfortunately, so they changed up some shit.
It was cool when they had that tribute for John Clayton on the broadcast. I'll tell you what, the fifth quarter is going to be really different this year.
Oh
yeah, John Clayton.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I also can't wait to do. I hope when the Monday night game comes, I want to get that selfie of me, Hasselbeck, and John Clayton in a frame and try to give it to Hasselbeck at the Monday night game against the Broncos.
Oh yeah. And I can't wait to do the nicknames when Jerry Judy or KJ Hamler get a catch to go KJ Green Eggs and Hamler and Judge Jerry Judy.
Yeah, and then
they're probably gonna torch us. Russell Wilson's gonna be looking to just light it up against us.
Yeah.
He's had this game circled.
Yeah, I just don't know if they'll. I just don't know if they'll do like a tribute video like the Colts did for Peyton Manning when he returned to Indianapolis in 2013. I don't know. I mean, I know the Patriots did a Tom Brady tribute when he returned with the Buccaneers last year. I mean, if they do, I'll just say thank you. But then after that, I just want to kick his ass, if possible.
Yeah.
Ground, I don't know. I don't think we will though, because
No, I don't.
yeah.
I think we'll lose that game regardless if Gino or Drew Lock is starting.
Yeah. But you know something? Here's another thing I was thinking about too. Granted, we said Gino's only win with the Hawks was going to be that Jacksonville game last year. If Trevor Lawrence somehow gets it together with Jacksonville and starts playing good and becomes a good quarterback, you know what we could say in the future, which is going to be hilarious?
But
We can say that we beat Trevor Lawrence with Geno Smith.
yeah,
Kind of like how,
he ends up having a good career.
yeah, kind of like how we beat Peyton Manning with John Kitna in 20. I mean, kind of like how we beat Peyton Manning with John Kitna in 1998 in Peyton Manning's rookie year in the Kingdom.
Because he ended up having a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, exactly. And that the only fact that John Kitna is the only Central Washington University quarterback ever to beat Peyton Manning.
Is he?
Yeah, because remember John Kitna played at Central Washington.
At least we could say we beat Jacksonville. Buffalo can't say that.
Yeah, well, yeah, granted Buffalo kicked our ass in 2020, but the fact that we beat Jacksonville with a backup quarterback in Geno Smith, and then Buffalo had all their starters and lost, it's still pretty crazy.
Next time we play, Buffalo is in 2024.
But hopefully we get, but even regardless of what happens, I hope we get a major upset with the team that we have over a big team, and that way we can possibly hear Chris Berman say before they do our game, say, that's why they play the game.
Yeah, I hope one of our wins is an upset win.
Yeah.
I hope we even have 4 or 5 wins, the top wins that we can do this season.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least we had 4 last year.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know if we'll have enough for a top 5 or top 4 or whatever. But we'll see,
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Woo. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go now, right?
All right.
All right, I'll catch you later, Dallas.
Yep.
All right, just thought I'd do this short stream. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll get another one of these soon. Like I said, I'll probably be taking a break from this for a while. I hardly ever do these streams over here, where I like to enjoy a cigar with y'all and chat with y'all and maybe have a couple friends on. But just wanted to do this really quick, and I'll catch y'all later. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. And as always, go Seahawks.